Tonight, the makers of Ghost invite you to experience the most extraordinary sneak preview of the year.
Look, just so you know, I'm looking for a miracle here.
You believe in miracles?
I'm gonna repeat this thing, yeah.
I know.
Michael Keaton, Nicole Kidman, My Life, rated PG-13.
Welcome to day 15 of Michael Keaton Month, where I'll be reviewing all the movies that Michael Keaton has appeared in. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called My Life. This was released on the 12th of November 1993 and the tagline was "Every moment counts." This movie was awesome. I thought it was fantastic, and this is kind of it's a bit of a deep issue for me. Well, not a deep issue, but you know, it's going to be a bit more personal than some of the other reviews, I think. Michael Keaton plays a character called Bob Jones, who is he's married to his beautiful wife, played by Nicole Kidman, called Gail, and they're expecting their first child, and that's when he finds out that he has terminal cancer. So this is a movie about a guy trying to kind of look back on his life, that he really kind of forgot a lot of his past, in kind of being this, this career guy. He moved to the city, moved away from his family, who were of, an Eastern origin, and he actually got rid of his original name and made his last name Jones to fit in with the city lifestyle and being a career man. And he finds out that really he's kind of thrown away a lot of his past, and so he's exploring that now in this movie as he faces his mortality, and of course he has a child on the way. And the crux of the movie is that he is recording a video diary for his unborn child. That's how the movie opens, with him kind of figuring out how to talk to the camera. And at first he doesn't tell his wife about this, and he's kind of telling his unborn child about everything that he wants to tell it. And in doing that, he realizes that I've really haven't thought about a lot of this stuff for a long time. And he goes back and he speaks to people who he used to know, and he kind of finds out more about himself that he kind of, again, like I said, forgot. And this movie, just for me personally, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And I'll just say right now that I don't really cry watching movies. I can get emotional and well up. My eyes will get a little watery, but I'll never actually. I can hold it in. I'm good at holding it in. But as to quote one of my favorite novels of all time, Teton Brown by professional wrestler Mick Foley. Or to paraphrase at least, it's not really crying if a tear doesn't fall from your eyes, and tears fell from my eyes watching this movie, and that has never happened before while watching the movie. It happened once before when I was watching a TV show, but this was the first time, and I cried twice watching this movie. Now, I've never understood people who say that they cry uncontrollably watching a movie. I'll never understand how people can get that far. So I wasn't really crying, but tears were falling, and it was hard to control my emotions. It was a movie that really struck home with me because I'm someone who's really neurotic, to be honest, and I'm kind of obsessed with mortality and people around me dying, or me dying too soon before I do the things that I want to do. I'm constantly obsessed with getting things done, just in case. And the idea of doing a video diary, just in case, or in this case, it's necessary because he knows he's going to die. It's something that really rings true with me. If I found out that I had cancer and I was going to die, I would be doing that. I would be filming a lot of stuff to just leave behind. I'm kind of obsessed with self-preservation, which is kind of a narcissistic thing, I guess you could say. But in Bob's instance, it is very it's selfless. It's for his unborn child, and that's the moment when Gail finds the tapes that that really got to me. Where it's the tape that he's explained to his unborn child. He's saying, at one point your mum's going to find someone else, and you can't be mad at her when that happens. It's only natural. Oh, that just really got me. That really got me. And Keaton is so fucking amazing in this movie because he doesn't overdo it. Again, he is the master of subtlety, in my opinion. He just plays it so down the line and so believably. And this is going to sound horrible as well, but I don't really find Nicole Kidman that attractive, which shouldn't counter into anything. But in this movie, I thought she was absolutely beautiful, and that somehow made it worse. You know, I know that's bad to say, it's really vain, but it just made it worse because he's this, you know, he's this guy in his 30s. You know, he's got a great career. You know, he's got a beautiful wife, and you know, he's gonna have his first child, and it's all just gonna, you know, just filter away, and he's just gonna, you know, he's just gonna slowly die, and that's it. It was devastating, this movie. He eventually sees his parents, you know, and we see he's had a troubled relationship with his parents, and I guess that's one thing that wasn't so great about the movie. We only see his parents in 2 situations in the movie, and it kind of jumps very dramatically on how their relationship is, and I guess that would kind of happen in, you know, the cancer terminal situation, but I feel like maybe we should have had like a 3rd scene to kind of just bridge the gap a little, maybe, but you know, otherwise it wasn't too much of a it didn't spoil things too much for me. Queen Latifah's in this movie, and she's billed quite heavily, you know, quite near the top of the movie, but she's actually hardly in it. She's kind of a nurse who comes in during his final days, and you know, it's I just loved how uncompromising the movie was. You know, it's he's gonna die, and that's it. And another thing I didn't like about the movie was there was a kind of running theme in the movie. He kept coming back to this Asian kind of healer who was kind of supposed to heal him, and he kept seeing these flashes of this light, and it just seemed like it was leading somewhere, and it ultimately led nowhere. I don't know whether there was a point that was really trying to be made there, that, you know, I really don't know, but for me, I just thought that that was something that maybe was wasted time, but I did enjoy the scenes. I just thought, maybe there's, you know, not too much going on there that that warranted screen time. Keaton was also hilarious in the movie. I thought there were some really funny moments, and that was what really got me about this movie. As devastated and as I was, and as gut-wrenching as it was to watch this movie, heartbreaking, there were some moments where I really laughed. I laughed out loud. Even towards the end, I was laughing. There's this great scene where he's just like, you know, he's supposed to be sleeping. It's like, you know, 2 in the morning, and he just turns on this classical music full blare, and Gail wakes up. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I want to listen to this." And she's like, "Can you wait till the morning?" He's like, "No, I want to listen to it now." And you can't argue with him because he's, you know, he's on his last legs. And there's a few moments where it kind of veers towards that icky kind of sentimental stuff, like it's too much. Like at the beginning of the movie, we see him as a child, and he kind of he's got a big imagination, and he says to his class that there's a circus, you know, at my house today. So for some reason the teacher brings the whole class to his house, and there's no circus because he's imagining it. And I thought that was a bit unbelievable, but you know, it kind of, I don't know, it was interesting. It got my attention at the beginning of the movie, and at the end of the movie, you know, not to spoil anything, but you know, they kind of bring a circus to him when he's on in his final days, and then the music starts creeping in, the sentimental music, and I'm like, oh no, this is getting a bit too icky now. And then Keaton just brought it all, just evened it all out, playing it straight down the line. You know, he could have burst into tears and said, "Oh, thank you, oh, this is like being a child again," but he just kind of this slight smile of, you know, silent appreciation, and just awesome. He's fantastic. There's another great scene where he goes back to the house that he grew up in, and he finds a toy that he hid inside the bricks of the house, and it's one of those toys that you throw up and the parachute opens, and it still worked, and that was a really, really nice scene. And also, you know, we get to see the birth of his child, and he prays just to be alive long enough for that, and he gets to, and that's great. And he's there with the camera and stuff, and he played it so well, and so did Nicole Kidman. I thought Nicole Kidman was also fantastic in the movie. They're really brilliant, I think. And yeah, just the idea of it, you know, recording down his thoughts, and it was a very moving movie, very moving drama, and I really, really enjoyed it, you know. But it was a emotional trip to watch it. I'm definitely going to see it again, but not too many times, because it was draining. It was really draining, and but I just loved how uncompromising it was, how great it was, how well it was written, how great it was acted, and just, yeah, I can't say enough good things about this movie. I've mentioned some things I didn't like about it. It's not perfect, but man, this was a great movie, and really made me glad that I decided to do this whole Michael Keaton month and discover some great movies like this, you know. Really, really happy that I made the decision to do it, even though it's a big task and it's really grinding down on me now I get halfway through the whole thing. It's a lot of effort, you know, especially now I've decided to edit a lot of things in and stuff and use pictures and clips, but it's the way I wanted to do it, and you know, to give the movies justice and to give the series justice. And I'll see if there's any trivia on the movie. I haven't actually pre-looked at this. No, not really. Well, there's a Batman connection. Michael Keaton had previously played Batman, and Nicole Kidman went on to play Batman's love interest in Batman Forever, and then appeared with subsequent Batmans, George Clooney and Christian Bale, in other movies. Marissa Tomei tested for the role of Gale, but she would actually play Michael Keaton's love interest in the next movie we're going to talk about. That's a nice segue. And just very briefly, one of my favourite scenes was when he's teaching his kid, who we now know is going to be a boy, how to walk into a room with authority. And it was just a really, really funny scene, just brilliantly done by Keaton. And then, of course, his kind of goodbye to his son in the cot. And that was really, it's just a hard scene to watch, but so well done. And I think Keaton should have been commended much more than he was for this movie. And again, with Clean and Sober and this movie, I think have been probably his two finest performances. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to join me tomorrow for a double bill. Another double bill. It's a lot to get through, but two really good movies tomorrow. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.
There's not a lot you can trust in this world. There just isn't. So, I wanted to leave you this videotape, for better or for worse, so that you know something about me.
That's Michael Keaton there, speaking into a video recorder, leaving a tape behind for his child, who Keaton doesn't expect ever to see. Keaton plays a man with terminal cancer and only months to live, who tries to come to terms with that fact, to set his life in order, and to leave a lot of advice behind for his unborn child.
There are basically two schools of shaving, okay? Down, like that, or up, like that. Never, I repeat, never sideways, like that.
Keaton's wife, played by Nicole Kidman, loves him despite the fact that he's hard to live with, but she feels betrayed when she finds out about his videotape sessions.
Why can't you tell me these things? Why is it you can tell all this to a camera? You can open your heart to a machine. I'm flesh and blood. I'm here for you anytime.
The movie follows the course of his cancer as he tries all kinds of approaches, from conventional medicine to Chinese medicine to vitamins and secret formulas.
God, how can you drink that?
Too bad, really. You know, when you get to that chewy center.
My Life is a movie with some very honest and painful moments in it and some good performances, but I never quite felt the reaction that I think I was supposed to have during this film. It wanted me to identify completely with this dying man who has a lot of anger inside and finally is able to make peace with the family that he's ashamed of and the friends that he hardly knows. But the movie wasn't quite tough enough on him, and it kept trying to lighten things up with scenes that belong more in a sitcom, not in a serious drama. And then there was a subplot involving a wise old Chinese doctor that had lots of metaphysics and flashes of psychic light, but it never really paid off. It was like a sideshow. This is three-fourths of a serious movie, sabotaged by cheap laughs and soft-hearted compromises.
You know, it did have a positive reaction on me, Roger. I thought about all the things that you would want to, they would want to have me think about, which is, you know, would I want to do the similar kind of videotaping for my kids? Would I want to make up with old enemies? I don't think I have that many. But, you know, that kind of thing. So the film got me in that way. You're absolutely right. The Chinese medicine stuff doesn't make any sense. It's sort of beneath the movie, the flashes of light. This is from the same writer as Ghost, so he obviously has a preoccupation with the afterlife. You know, but I did get involved in the film.
You know, what I wonder is whether they didn't start out with a really serious and uncompromised film and then try to lighten it up. For example, the montage where he's buying toys for his unborn child, and he's in the toy store, and he pulls out one little beach ball, and of course, millions of beach balls fall all over the floor. That's out of TV commercial land, you know?
But Roger, that lasts 10 seconds.
The whole montage was unnecessary, and there are some other moments just like that. It's as if they're saying, oh, this is so dark that we have to throw in some dumb stuff here to let the audience off the hook.
They may have done exactly what you said, but I don't think it takes away from the fact that you will get emotionally involved. At least I got emotionally involved with Michael Keaton's predicament.
Who the hell you think you are? You think you can take away my hope like that? That's all I have.
This was released on November 11th. Oh, November 12th. Fuck! This was released on the November... Welcome to Dave... Welcome to my...